Have a brand? Do you want to get it in front of millions of people instantly? Well, email me right now, ogod@hiphopun.com.
Same time, I salute Magic for it. There should be more at the end of the day, and let's keep it going.
Yeah. I want to talk about this, even though the story was last week, man. We didn't get a chance to record last week. But let's talk about it now. We found out last week that the NBA is under investigation by the DOJ, which is the Department of Justice for Anti-Competitive Behavior, and trying to diminish Ice Cube's Big 3 league. Now, the Department of Justice filed an inquiry last month into the NBA, allegedly using their name and popularity to prevent sponsors from working with the Big 3 and discouraging TV networks from giving the growing league exposure. Now, just to say, the NBA did deny all allegations, but Ice Cube, if you remember, he was already saying this. Now, there's apparently a Department of Justice investigation into the NBA using unscrupulous business activities to try to deny. And that goes, the reason I wanted to go into this, because how we said, the 4 black billionaires, is like, it's so much power, so much money in these athletes that we see the NBA allegedly is like, nah, heck nah.
Nope.
We don't want no competition, bro. Like, don't mess with them. If you go over there, we ain't messing with you.
Yep.
That's what it looks like. What's your thoughts on this?
We had this suspicion when he started going on his podcast tour a couple months back. It hadn't been proven, but now it looks like it's going to be proven. And it's not surprising.
No, it's not.
It's not surprising one bit, because we obviously see when presented a threat, in particular a threat that looks like one of us, they try to shut that shit down by any means necessary. You can entertain, you can influence, you can do whatever you do, but you're going to do it in the confines of our bubble. And if you go outside of that bubble and do business with somebody in particular that looks like you, we'll take it all from you because we have the power to do so. And Ice Cube was complaining about, yo, leave us alone, just stop blocking us. You know what I'm saying? It almost looked like a great way for players that were kind of on their way out to kind of keep their name rejuvenated and have something entertaining. Because I'm going to be honest with you, without those athletes, without those nameable stars, the Big 3 is nothing. It needs it. So I think the NBA knows that. Ice Cube obviously knows that. And I don't think there should be a reason why a grown man who happens to play in the NBA, who no longer plays in the NBA, doesn't have a right, or even if he does play in the NBA, doesn't have a right. If he can go overseas and play this or do that, if he can go play pickup basketball, should have a right to go play for Cube in the Big 3 if he so chooses. If he gets hurt, then put something in the contract where whatever.
Check this out.
Go ahead.
I'm glad you said that because it leads right into this. According to the report, current NBA players were interested in playing for the Big 3 league, but the NBA placed arbitrary rules to prevent them from doing so.
Bullshit.
Players like LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan, James Harden supposedly wanted to go over there and, ball on the off season because they're allowed to go to other different things and do other things as well, like you were just saying. Also, referees are also involved. They're not allowed to officiate any Big 3 games, even though they work for other companies outside the NBA. If the DOJ finds that the league committed alleged antitrust violations, the NBA could be hit with a huge fine. A fine? What do you think about that, though? So you got NBA players that want to go over there, that want to help out, but the NBA say, nah, we shutting that down. Not even the referees. Nope. We don't want nothing.
Yeah.
That's crazy, yo.
First off, I think it's true.
Hell yeah.
And I think there should be something in writing, if found guilty, that they cannot mess with Cube. Because if they get a heavy fine put on them, do you think there won't be a colluding done underneath the surface for like, okay, yeah, it's a rule, we can't tell you, but trust me, go there and do it if you want to and see if we don't make your life hell. They're going to continue to go at this. You talk about LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan, when you talk about the James Harden, those are huge names. People are watching if those are balling in the Big 3.
Yep.
Now you turn it into NBA All-Star Weekend every weekend of a Big 3 season. And who didn't want to see LeBron James in a slam dunk contest? Who wouldn't want to see LeBron on one side, DeMar on the other side, with some legends playing 3-on-3? Now we got something. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very interesting, man. And that's the only thing, because we remember we talked about Iverson in the beginning.
Yep.
That would have been so big for the Big 3.
There.
That would have been so huge because other players would have been able to do it. But now we find out the NBA is shutting that down because they are concerned that they see where this can grow.
Yep.
They see where this could really turn into. And they don't want to see it happen. And not just because it's exclusively a black-owned league or whatever like that. It could be anybody can own it. They just don't want the competition, which I think is some BS.
Yep.
At the end of the day, and the fine, there's no fine you can make big enough for a company like the NBA. Forget the fine.
Right.
What's the fine gonna do?
It's just gonna piss them off.
Right.
What it's gonna do.
Right.
And let me make it perfectly clear. I don't think the Big Three is still competition to the NBA in the grander scheme. What I mean by that is it's not going to take away from business to the NBA. It's not going to take away from them games. It's not going to take away from the playoffs or the finals. It's just going to add value and possibly put it on a different level as it. But I don't. People may go out there and say, "I like the Big Three more than NBA," but that ain't going to make them tune away from the NBA. You ain't on the same time slots. That would be something crazy.
Yeah.
But y'all at totally different times, totally different seasons. You talking about these players that can do whatever they want during their offseason, play this way, that way, do wherever they want. You see the overseas players going back home and balling and hooping up, but they can't play here. That's crazy. And I hope Cube gets what he deserves and gets some of them stars over there playing for him, because that would change the game.
Yeah.
And I want to see it.
Yeah, people really watching, man.
Yep.
So last one, you got anything else over there?
Nope, good, bro.
Last week, Minister Louis Farrakhan sues the ADL. Now he is suing them for $4.8 billion for wrongly accusing him of being anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, man?
I think it's a bold move.
Whew.
I think it's a strong move. I don't know how far it's going to go and how much he's going to receive, but I think it puts attention to an organization in the ADL that you're not going to punk us. We're not afraid of you. You're not going to just make us kneel and bow to and submit to you like you do other people, like you do athletes, like you do this, like you do that. Stand on what we believe. We stand on what we said. We don't believe what we said was hateful by any stretch of the imagination, and we're willing to sue you and go to court to prove it. I commend the move. I think it's a strong move. What the ultimate reality of the move will be, I don't know.
Right.
But, yeah, I do commend it, and it shows a level of don't F with us. We ain't the ones, so
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, if you got something like the ADL and you want to, tighten the proverbial noose on people and things like that, it got to be some type of fight back to it, because it's like, yeah, you got your organization, you got your people, okay, so do we. And we're going to use the courts, we're going to use whatever remedy possible, to try to get some type of remedy from this situation. I can't be mad at it. All I can say is look at the court battle, and see what happens. I just think that when organizations have powers like that, there needs to be something in place to make sure that the power is not being abused. Just because, you could do this and do that and push things like, all right, is it just though? Like, is it, or are you just doing it because you want to do it?
Yeah.
Because you think somebody's talking about you. You think somebody's this. Or can you actually sit down and prove, okay, this person is that anti-Semitic or whatever, you're calling them. So we'll see, man, how this thing goes. I think it's unprecedented. We're just gonna see how it ends up.
What makes me uncomfortable, right, is when you're deemed an anti-Semite, it's almost as if they are allowed to exclude you from any type of financial gain.
Oh yeah,
any type of power.
Sure.
All they got to do is characterize you as that, and now all of a sudden everything's taken away. And for you to think that somebody talked about you and you don't even genuinely know, and still throw that term on them and still get things taken away from them, that's the abuse of power that definitely needs to go away, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. And yeah, man, another great show today.
Yes, sir.
Almost hit 30 minutes. Definitely appreciate everybody, who listened in, no matter what segment you listen in on. You got the Israel-Palestine conflict going on. I don't know a lot about it right now, so I'll reserve comment. I'll do a little bit more research. I think it's just some BS. It's just too much war.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it there, man.
Yeah, nah, I'm not into children dying. I'm not into...
Nope, no matter what color.
Yeah.
Creed.
People unjustly dying, innocent people for no reason. So I don't have to know much to know. I don't like that. So
yep.
So I got on that, bro.
Yeah, man, another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. That's your brother Sandman. Viral Hip Hop News. I'm your brother Oh God. Hip Hop News Uncensored together with the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Over and out.